income, we will have a class. Usually we have the classes at 12:30 Mondays. Let's do a class today at 12:30 Tuesday. I think given the VIX, strategy 2 is going to be a perfect little spot for it. So let's have that class at 12:30. Also, I'll be having a masterclass workshop series for double up alerts this week. So we'll talk about that as well. Let's see what's going on. This is a heat map from Friday last week. 53% of stocks declining. Also, pretty decent rollover in NVIDIA, which had earnings down to 169. Now we're hitting the expected move. Last week's earnings going down to 169 puts us around $11. I calculated out about a $12.66 move. Have a couple trades running for some profit targets on pinch point and newsbreakers for NVIDIA. Also, not going to be surprised to see a 23% fib hit or past resistance around the 153, 154 handle. So if NVIDIA is kind of leading the way, or if MAGS is leading the way, probably bringing the markets with it. So MAG's down about $1.14. Doesn't look like much, but percentage-wise, it's 2% lower on stocks that represent I don't know how many trillions of dollars worth of market cap. So it'll be a bit of a mover. I did some technical stuff yesterday. I think that the SPY or the S&P is due for a bit of a rising wedge break to the downside. The NASDAQ isn't quite there, but this might also be a head and shoulders pattern. We're just looking at a little bit of a correction. So we can hit symmetry, pull back, hit symmetry again, just wait for a trend line break or start looking at dynamic support levels to buy. Hopefully, 200 moving average holds well between the 38%. I'd say if it gets a little bit deeper, like the 50% pullback zone, that would probably scare the markets a little bit because we're talking double-digit correction. So hopefully we don't really see that. If we pull back to the 200 moving average, that's an 11% correction from the top. So I would think between the 100, it's about a 7%er. Previous all-time highs hitting that 100 EMA, it's about 7%. So maybe a little volatility between that 7 and 10. But you can see here opening up, $9 lower. So we are definitely getting some volatility this week. Okay. All right. Who's in the house this morning as the room fills up? Good morning, Cindy, Tom, Snapper's here, Larry's here, Greg, Gina, good morning. Dr. Barnes, good morning. Dave, good morning. John, what's happening? Dan, good morning. Make sure, so we can all see the chat. If you want to post a message for everybody, make sure that the 2 is for everybody, not just individuals. That way you can actually have a chat for everyone. Cool. All right, good stuff, good stuff. All right, let me get one thing up and running. We'll get our levels ready to go. Okay, so let's check. VIX is up. So we're getting a VIX reading around 19. Again, the nature of the VIX is to revert. However, I've talked about this when we had this little spike up into the 20s. We really don't see volatility suppression funds active when the VIX is above 19. So that means it is easier for this thing to go from 19 into the 20s, 20s into the mid 20s, until it's kind of happy with whatever ventilation the market needs. VIX spikes up maybe into the 20s, maybe spikes up aggressively like we've seen here into the high 20s, but then reverts. I don't think this is the type of move. So we're post Labor Day, kids are back in school, traders should be back at their desks by now. Europe's on vacation. They should be off vacation now. So all these things would be, I don't think we get like the 40 to 60 VIX. I think we could have a 20 to 30 VIX. So yeah, I just think this is a good opportunity to start looking for selling some premium and looking to see if the expected move is pretty wide and let the markets kind of be the markets. So anyway, 1908. Let's see what happens. So 1908, about a 1.2% move. That's quite a ways higher or lower. Look at some of my liquidity levels. We're opening. Let's go to the SPY here. 637. I mean, that's an 8-point move to the downside. We're going to open. This is kind of crazy, but we are going to open well below the 0DT levels. So we still come into that inefficiency from Jackson Hole levels like this. My waterfall income, call condor trade should be looking pretty good based on just today's open. Yeah, we will see how those shape up. But that's a big point gap. So we're probably close to 1%. Wow. So we're going to have a 1.2% open lower. Earnings jitters. Just noise, man. All right. Well, here's the good and the bad. The good is we're finally getting correction we've been talking about for many weeks. The bad is, seeing a gap of 1.2% all of a sudden kind of breaks up my kind of daily plan. So let's consider a couple of things. One is with the VIX at 19 plus, unless we have the VIX going aggressively higher today and we go from like 19 into the mid 20s, we should be able to sell some out of the money puts and prevent the market from dropping 3-4% today. Couple levels I can calculate out on the SPX. So we'll do VIX is around 19. Let me bring up this workspace right here. Should be VIX. Yep. So VIX has been going up pretty much since Friday and just opened up this morning, going even higher. So we're at 19. So looking about a 1.18% move, 1.19% move. Here's SPX 1.19. I'll round up a little bit. So from previous day's close, which is Friday, 1.19 puts us around 63.83. So 63.85. 6385 to 6380. Potential bottom based on Friday's close. I do wonder if the gamma will be switching today to negative gamma once we're below that with a higher VIX. It is unlikely we're going to be calculating a run all the way back up. I mean, if we're opening up a 1+% down, going up from Friday's close at 1.09 or 1.19%, unlikely that number is going to get hit. So 1.19 puts us up to around 63.35. 65.35. Numbers way off. 65.35 potential top. That's Friday's close. Very unrealistic to hit this number. And also it's so far away from the current open that it's going to be like a, 1 delta. So I wouldn't even sell that premium unless price is going to make a run back to the middle. Okay. So what I'd like to see, just based on the gap to the downside, is how much lower can we go on a 0DT environment? If we're opening 1+% lower, that essentially satisfies the VIX. The VIX obviously can go higher during the trading day, or if the VIX reverts, meaning that we've been up here to 19, if the VIX goes back down, is that an easy spot to buy some bull put spreads? Measures out on SPX. Let me bring up some other levels here. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. We have talked about this higher volatility. We've talked about this higher VIX. We've talked about this correction for weeks on end. So now that it's happening, the market's down 1+% at the open. Do not panic. All right. This is all part of the necessary correction, ventilation that the market is needed. It's almost like aggravating how annoying this run up has been. Once we got through, like I get like April's turnaround, May, June, July, totally understood. Hey, we got a lot of momentum. This market has pivoted hard, but August still melting up to nearly 3%. That was like one of the best performing Augusts we've seen since 2020. And September was a pretty terrible month. So August, I think in 2020 was up like 7%, and September was down, 4.5%. So I know those during 2020, but a lot of that like crashed during COVID, crashed during Liberation Day. There's some interesting similarities there. So pre-market, pretty wide. We're opening below these levels. I'm going to look to see when the market opens, how far out we can go to sell some puts. So I'd like to do like a bull put spread this morning, kind of that make it a pretty easy focus. It's Tuesday. If we expect there to be a lot of volatility, maybe a reverse iron condor that is maybe 15 points wide for 70, 80, 90 cents. If we went 20 points wide, I mean, part of me thinks the market could, I don't know. I don't see a lot of like stickiness here, maybe a gap fill, but it's like, are we going to stay there? Are we going to shoot lower? Try to fill the gap. I mean, there could just be a lot of volatility. So I think a reverse iron condor would be a pretty straightforward trade today for daily profit play, which means I would be looking at maybe a 15 to 20 wide dead zone as long as price is going to go, directionally like 15 to 20 points up or down. We can hopefully grab anywhere between like 80 cents to $1. And that's if we want to let it run all day. Usually if I can collect $6 on this trade, that's a $4 risk. That's a $4 risk for a $1 profit. And what that allows me to do is of that dollar max credit, if I can grab 60, 65, 70 cents of that throughout the day, I'll just take the profit and move on. So I don't mind that trade, especially if we're, in here, maybe there's a sticky level at 64. I just think the market could be a little surprised and shocked to see like the first big chip in the markets, rally. Okay. All right. So just want to make sure like we're all calm, cool, collected going into this. The market's going to move probably pretty fast. I don't know if the VIX is going to continue to rally or if the VIX is going to fall a little bit. We will find out. But I don't necessarily want to call the bottom right away, simply because if this is the Friday close, we're gapping lower and opening here. Remember, this can also serve as if you're going 1+% from the open. We have like the VIX move, and then we have the opening bell move. So we could still go down lower. So I'm not super comfortable calling the bottom, right? Is this like the one day in a while that the market has a big sell-off? We rarely see like 2+% days without like an absence of zero DTE or without some type of like just major chaos for that day. It's like that day, but it rarely is consistent. Okay. So a couple tops, bottoms, we'll modify these because we are going to open significantly lower, and that's okay. So my plan for daily profit play alerts, couple things. If we're opening down here, I'm probably looking at a reverse iron condor to get filled, 15 or 20 points wide on the dead zone, but I'm trying to collect minimum like 580 or 590 or hopefully over $6. What that is if let's just say I'll use simple numbers. I'll use $6. If I collect $6 on the trade, okay, so that is a max risk of $400 with a max profit of $100. I hate when I freehand this. So if I do a reverse iron condor, what that's looking at is like probably a 15 to 20 point dead zone. I want direction, up or down. It doesn't matter to me what direction I get. I just want to see a price can go one way or the other. Okay. So if I can collect $6 credit, that's going to be $1 max profit and $4 max risk on the trade. Okay, because it would be a 5 wide spread. So I would go like a 5-point wide SPX spread because I'm collecting $6. That's like an excess credit of $1. So it'd be $4 max risk for $1. If I let it run all the way to expiration and we can get out of that 15 to 20 point dead zone, that's making about a 25% return on risk, which isn't bad. Oftentimes, if I can pull, out of $1 max, if I can pull 80 cents, 85 cents, I'm pretty happy with that. 70 cents is acceptable as well. Still a pretty good return on risk. So if I made 70, 17.5% is fine if I made $70, per contract, right? And the way that works as far as like a risk profile is I would go, it's basically an in the money bear call spread, in the money bull put spread, and that creates the little dead zone here. That dead zone is only realized at the end of the day, and then the rest of this is profit. So we would have something along these lines. So this would be you get paid if price goes down. This would be price falling on the index. This would be price rallying on the index. If price goes up, we get paid. If price goes down, we get paid. If price stays in that dead zone, this is where we have our risk. Okay, this isn't achieved or realized until the end of the day. So if there's any movement through the day, up or down, this would get us, let's say, $1 here, $1 here, and then our dead zone would be the max risk of $400, which is still pretty well contained. And again, we don't realize this until the very end of the day. The final hour, this starts to get like the P&L. If you watch this like happening live, it kind of starts off like this tiny little risk. And then as the day grows, or in time, because it's a 0 DT, the later in the day around 3 p.m., you start to get that dead zone sagging in the middle. And that's where you don't want to be. You don't want price to be in that dead zone towards the end of the day. But it's, 10 to 15 points. I would imagine today with a high VIX, I don't see the market being like, wow, that's surprising. The market only moved like 30 points today. VIX is like opening up in a big way. I think that's most likely going to lead us to an interesting like swing day. I think we're probably going to have somewhere between, maybe 40, 50, 60 points of movement. We can see what the brokers have lined up for the day. So if we go SPX, you're looking at the IV rank is jumping up here. Here's a 12.8 SPX. SPY's jumped up to 16.2. The Qs have jumped up to 19.8. So this is going to make for a great session of waterfall income. We're starting to see some volatility again. IV and IWM at 18. So these IV ranks that Tasty has, it's a really good calculation for selling premium is a good thing when you're starting to see IV ranks go up. So QQQ right now has the highest one. I'm probably going to focus on that for my 1230 trade in waterfall income. But between SPY, QQQ, Qs are, we've got to be a little skeptical of Qs just because they've had such a good run. They had a bigger reflexive rally. But this whole question of like tech, is this an AI bubble? And it is, but it isn't. I mean, if we're going to hold and maintain a bull market, the Qs are going to be fine. If anything, this is a rotation. Probably some of the stuff that was beaten up. I took some notes on Friday. I mean, I'm looking at some boring stocks that might actually perform really well here in the next 6 months, maybe a year. UNH, the beat up healthcare group, that's United Health Group, Pfizer, and Cigna. So CI is one ticker, PFE, and UNH. I'm going to look to see if I can find some trades on those for my Project Options Edge. I think we can sell some premium and find a good trade or two. All right. Okay, so let's check and see what the plus minus is on SPX. IV rank 12.9 or 12.8. We'll see if this goes up at all. Today is the 2nd. I'm showing a plus minus 31. Well, at a VIX 19, that's pretty low. This like plus minus the 31, that's pretty low. Implied volatility is 7. I feel like this is going to jump through the morning. So let's see what to do. How far out could I go? If we open up and we're dramatically lower, let's keep an eye on the, plus or minus on the day. Let's keep an eye on the IVX. And if I could go further out of the money, let's say that we open up, futures market is right here. We're down 1.12% on S&P futures. NASDAQ down 1.47. I'll bring one more workspace up. We probably will have some decent futures market action today. So here's a 1 hour. Here's a 1 hour. Here's a shorter time frame. Wow. I mean, futures overnight was just steady, steady, steady. Steady down. But it's needed to happen for a while. I mean, it's timing. I mean, the fact that we clung to almost a 3% gain for August and had one day that really sold off, and that was literally Friday the 29th, the final day of trading, and then go into Labor Day weekend with a bit of a dip. Well, September effect is real, right? Because we're already off these highs. If we go SPY, we're already off the highs. Not quite to the 3% correction towards the 50-day moving average, but off the highs, gapping lower, we're going to be down about 1.45% off the recent highs, hitting this 50-day moving average with some continuation lower. That's over 3%. Coming back to previous all-time highs, we're talking closer to like 6% right in here. So off the recent highs, back to previous all-time highs, about a 5.5% correction. Fine. I think it's needed. I mean, as a buyer, I'm much more interested in buying here. As somebody likes to trade options, I think I'd like to deploy my capital, get some of those option positions started in here. And the nice thing is it should offer some decent premium. Okay. So I just want to be careful assuming that today's open is like, there's no way it can go lower. I mean, I could see the market in a 0-day just instantly hedging and buying, but I want to make sure if we are going to open lower, that I can go another like 30, 40, 50 points lower if I'm going to take a stab at maybe buying some puts. Or I should say either one buying calls or doing credit spreads. I want to be a reasonable amount out of the money. Okay, so it could be a couple trades going today. Might be a busy daily profit play. All right, so we got 4 minutes for the open. Any questions? We ready for a correction? We should be. I've only been talking about it for like 2 months. So not like bearish for it, just saying don't be surprised when it happens. I don't know what the catalyst is. I mean, what would you say what's the catalyst now? Nvidia, I mean, look, Nvidia beat top and bottom earnings. What's the catalyst? There's nothing, right? Earnings jitters. Okay. Well, we've had a narrow, concentrated bull market. If it wasn't for Mag 7, if it wasn't for AI, the S&P would have been flat this year. If you go equal weighted, this is a good example. Here's equal weighted S&P. Okay, if we're going equal weighted S&P for the last 12 months, because of that reflexive rally that we saw, I mean, the market's up 7%. Equal weight's up 7%. But we're right back where we started from previous all-time highs. Right? So you take away the power of market cap, we're barely at the previous all-time highs. But I mean, again, you can hate on this market all you want, but that's the beautiful thing about market cap. That's the beautiful thing about having the SPY and the Qs is it only takes, 7 great companies, 10 great companies to drive this thing to all-time highs. If the other 493 or 490 pick up the slack and run a little bit with some opportunity, I think there's still opportunity to keep the broader market going. But sometimes you're going to have to just see some technical obedience. That's really all it is. Loss of tariffs, uncertainty with payback fears. Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to drive the market like that. It's like I don't assess the market in like, I mean, look, it's greed and fear. That's the simplest way to look at it. Extreme greed, extreme fear. It happens in the market, but I mean, where's Trump going to speak up? If the market drops, Trump's going to blame Powell and he's going to demand that things change. We start cutting rates. I mean, if we're 5 to 7% away from all-time highs, if we're 10% away from all-time highs, why would I not take positions that allow me to still capitalize on profit as long as we don't take out April lows? And in this administration, it's like, are we on the brink? It's like, are we over leveraged? I mean, if anything, maybe the market needs a deleveraging. Okay, well, to what degree? I mean, deleveraging is 2022. It wasn't a straight down move. 2022 was a 9-month wave down, wave up, wave down, wave up. So there's all sorts of ways that a bearish move could take place, but I think it's nothing more than probably a pullback first. I would question this bull market if we're below 5,700. I would say that the strength in this market relies on us staying probably firmly planted above 6,000. If we stay above 6,000, I think there's strong dynamic support. We dip aggressively below 57, then yeah, I'll be more of a skeptic. I think we probably have like no man's land. This market might return nothing, but what a great run it's been. Now it's about risk management and trading. There's plenty of ways to get the job done. So, all right, bell is open, markets are open. Let's see what happens in the plus or minuses. This is just here in real time. So I've got the broker platform up and running. We should be gapping lower. I'm waiting for this to update here. I want to see if the plus minus does the same thing. There we go. Okay, so we opened up at 63.80. Now we have a plus or minus 80 on the day. Now it's plus or minus 33. So there's clearly a big gap to the downside. Again, there's no reason for us to like rush into today's trading, right? Just let the market do the thing it needs to do. First thing I'm going to look at, probably a pretty straightforward trade, is the inverse or the reverse iron condor. So if I do a 70 by 75 bear call, bull put, let me see if I can get 590 for that trade. That's only going 15 wide. See if I can pull that trade for a little bit. So 70 and 85. Let's send that in. Well, don't tell me my execution is going to be slow today. All right. I might just restart my broker here in a moment. All right. Let me close out of this. Unable to connect. All right. Let me get out of here. Okay. I'm going to log back into my broker account. So we've gapped lower. Previous day's close, we've gapped down about 1.2%. We flushed a little bit lower towards 1.38. We've already surpassed the VIX calculation. We've climbed to the VIX here to 19. There's no vol suppression at 19. So this thing can run higher, which means just be careful about calling bottoms. Okay. Just be careful about calling bottoms. All right. I'm logging back in. Frederick, if you're looking for today's trades, if I take them, they're going to be in the daily profit play alerts Telegram. So I'm logging back in. Price hasn't moved too much outside of this initial pop. I'm trying to get a directional play. It's going to be a reverse iron condor, which allows me to have like a 15 to 20 wide dead zone. I think there's enough volatility today to hopefully get us there. If we just gap lower and stay there for the entire day, that's a very annoying trade. If we pull in some real levels here, okay, oops, float this out. So we've already exceeded the 100% ATR by a lot. Okay, but look at what's filling up in real time. Okay, we've gotten all the way through our pre-market liquidity levels. Now I'm going real time. So this is filling up to the downside, but a 100%. Do we double that? Do we go to like 150 to 200% before we rally? Maybe. In a negative gamma environment, it's going to force market makers to be buying. So maybe we get to like 6350, 6300. We could probably, again, with tolerating whatever risk we take, sell some bull put spreads and hopefully get some decent fills. Okay, so I'm going to try to go back in. My execution was so slow initially that I want to see if this trade tried to fill. So positions, trade, hoping this is not slow execution for the second. That I don't even think that pending order even popped in. So let me go SPX. All right, so that pending order didn't even fill. I'm going to go same thing. Oh my gosh. 70, 75, 85, 80. I don't want to go more than like 20. If I go 20 points wide, see, that's 55. All right. See if I can get this trade for $6. Oh my gosh. This is going to drive me crazy. So I'm just trying to send the order and it's just slow to the take right now. Let me see. I hate trading on their web platform, but I'm going to try it. Okay. So error occurred, trading even take. I'll try the web platform. Yeah, we'll see. Web platform is usually slower for me than the desktop. All right, all the more reason, like I just have to be patient. So animated contact servers. Well, that's not helping me there, Tasty. Okay, 70 to 85. I think I'm going to try the 20 wide. So that's 70 to 90. $6. I mean, come on, dude. I'm still not even getting the desktop pulled up or the web pulled up. Well, come back to that in a second. Let me go into Thinkorswim. Look at something a little bit different. See if I get a trade executed on Thinkorswim. So go live. Got some trades. Let's go SPX. Options for today. All right. So I want to see how far out I can go. I've got levels filling up. 63.25. I'm seeing levels down here at 63.25. That's probably, let me pull in a ATR in here. So we opened up just below the 100% ATR. Here's a 200% ATR, which is around 63.47. If I can sell below 63.45, probably got a decent chance of holding the lows. Again, there's always risk. Okay. Reload app, expected error, and Tasty. It's not like them. All right. So could I do 63.20? It's a 10 delta, 20. 60 cents and a 10 wide. That's awful. Maybe going 63.30. Try this trade for maybe $1. 63.30 puts me at what for the day? 63.30. Market would have to be down over 2% for the day. Let's see if it will stay there. $1 credit pending. Still not. Gosh, man, that's so frustrating. All right, I'll try the 30 by 25. Try to get filled for $1. So $1 review. All right. So I've got a trade pending right now. I'm doing a 63.30. 63.30 put by 63.25 put. It's a 5 wide. I'm trying to get $1 filled on that. And if I can get the other one, that's that reverse iron condor. That's more at the money. So if I did the 75 by 80, let's go 70 by 75, 90 by 85. Try this again. So 70 by 75, and then 90 by 85. Okay. See if I can get this thing filled for like $6 credit. Make sure this is all just one contract. Okay, try to get filled at $6. And it's a 0 day. All right, send. $6 not filling. I'm going to try to edit this at 5.95. Okay. So my tasty stuff is a bit of a mess right now. Still not successful there. I'll put it in Thinkorswim. It's two pending orders right now. I'll post these in the Telegram. So I'm doing a reverse iron condor and a bull put spread. Neither have been filled. So I'm just going to let price, do its thing. Meaning, I'm not going to take this one for 590. 595 is pending. 595. I'll try one more at 590. I don't really want to take less than 590. So at this one, 590. This one should fill. At 20 wide, this should fill. All right. Tasty for the day. I'm just going to log out right now. It's more distracting than is anything else. 590 still not filling. F and A cotton. Well, I mean, what's interesting is it's almost like the best way to hedge is a 0 day environment. I mean, if all of a sudden there's all sorts of weird connection issues and 0 day traders, it's like, look, people are going to make all sorts of excuses. Oh, I couldn't trade today. I could have made so much. Whatever, dude. I mean, honestly, if the market is super calm, then yeah, it's annoying to have just trading handcuff you for the day. Um, but I'm sure Casey will resolve it at some point. Maybe trading the next 15, 20 minutes is fine. I'll just try to make a good decision. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to another broker. I'm going to see if I can pull a couple of trades. I'll put these trades in Telegram right now. They're pending orders. They haven't been filled. So you're not missing anything. But let's see what we can do. So I have two trades. SPX. These are pending orders. It's a 9/2 expiration. Sell the 63.30 put, 63.25 put, dollar credit, pending not filled. And then SPX 9/2 expiration. I'm doing the 70 by 75 bear call. Yep. So 63, 63.70, 63.75, and 90, 63.90, 63.85. Trying to get filled for 590 credit or higher. This is also pending, not filled. Having issues with Tasty Trade connection this morning. These are pending orders in my Thinkorswim web platform. Okay, and so far price hasn't really done much. We've opened up right around the 100% ATR. We're just below that. Again, not trying to be a hero today, but if we come all the way down to, let's say 63.25 and then bounce back up, look, I wouldn't mind taking a stab at some higher credit trades if the market can bounce off those. Okay. So I think, I mean, and the flip side of that is, well, if you don't see any of these filling up, if the market doesn't just rally right here, I mean, one thing we could also consider is from here, if I can get a trade and I can sell a bear call spread at the gap or anywhere higher, like bear call spreads up here would actually be pretty good. More than likely, I'd say the flows are probably going to be bearish today. So I'm going to open this one up. This is trading at 575. I'm going to edit this back. If I'm going to get it pending, I might as well get filled for something I'm happy with, which is $6. See if I can keep it out of there. So I'm going to go $6 on the reverse iron condor. I'm still going for $1 on the bull put spread. See if I can just get connected on Tasty. This web platform is not helping me at all. Okay. ATR and Thinkorswim. I don't know. I mean, the plus minus should be on here somewhere. So for the option chain, you can see like the plus minus right here. It's really small font, but it's like plus or minus 33.84. So you got about a $33 to $34 move expected today. Implied volatility's jumped up about 24%. That's not an ATR measurement, though. That's a market maker move. The ATR is going to be just an indicator based on the previous day's levels. So my ATR, you know, I built this one. This is just ATR for day trading. And we set it at the previous day's close. We open up here. There's a 100% ATR. That's 100%. That's 100%. That's 2. That's 3. That's 2. That's 3. Would we ever see like a 2 to 300% ATR? Yeah, but very rarely. Okay. So I just want to see, just kind of get some gauges like, all right, what are we doing today? Besides not being able to log into a broker platform. That's what I'm doing today. All right, trying this again. Okay, Greg, if you just pull up a basic ATR indicator, I look at a 5-day indicator. So if you want to pull up average to range, put it on SPX, it'll probably be a subgraph, but that subgraph will tell you, the average of the last 5 days of what this market is likely going to move. That would be like a full, ATR. I just added in the percentages to give me like, what's 50% of that? What's 100% of that? What's 150? What's 200? I want to see those levels. Okay. Yep, same thing. I am stuck again on Tasty. And whatever's going on with their connections, I don't envy their day. It's like they've got, probably hundreds of thousands of traders, probably millions of traders that are calling their trade desk, freaking out, panic, whatever. I mean, I know it's not a fun job, but meanwhile, I'm still seeing my streamer like buffering. Hopefully it loads up and I can get a couple of trades in. But so for daily profit alerts, I got 2 pending orders. Neither one have been filled so far. I moved that reverse iron condor to a $6 credit that has not been executed yet, and price really hasn't done much. So between the 5 and the 15-minute chart, we will see. Lows of the day 63.69. While I'm at it, I was hoping I could get logged in to get my. I want to check on my waterfall income trade. Those call condors we took had to be, they both got to be looking pretty good. We have 2 more call condors. Those profits of like $1.25 and $2.30 should be looking a little bit better right now. All right, looks like my streamer thing is busted. So I'm going to go make sure I don't have anything on my task manager for Tasty. I'll just end everything and start it up again. Everything's been closed down. Okay, let's try one more time. And worst case scenario, if I, am locked out of my broker platform most of the morning, I can't place a trade, then it is what it is. Like I can't force a trade. If I want to call the trade desk right now and tell them, hey, put this order in my broker platform, the bad part is they can do that, but If it doesn't execute, it pens, and then I can't even log back in. I mean, it's not going to do me any good to force trades even through the trade desk if I can't log in and manage it. I mean, one thing that I would say is an absolute requirement on zero DT trading is you got to manage these trades. So just throwing it in and making a trade, but having to call them back again and manage it, it's probably not going to be easy. So I'm just going to try to keep logging back in. It'll be fixed. I'm sure probably later this morning it'll be fine. But meanwhile, we'll just kind of watch price and see what it does. Is anybody in trades right now? If you are, let me know what you're in. I'll help track and monitor. So far, let's see. I'm just curious. I mean, intraday low around 63, 69. Could I do a 65, 65 by 60? If I win a 5 wide put there, that's offering about $1 credit. If that's going to be the low for the day. Right now, that's trading about a 27 delta, 22 delta. I think that's being a little brave, calling that the low of the day. Greg says I'm in 2 bear call spreads. Okay. John says took the standard Iron Condor 15 wide for 295. Okay, good. Close the broken. I mean, if you can, what's it at right now, Bill? What are these trades that I took last week? They should be looking good, right? The trades I took last week, I'm adding a new trade for 9.8. That was the $1.20 credit. So if you can see these trades, what are they trading for? $1.20 credit, what's it worth right now? $1.10 credit, what's it worth right now? I can't see any of these trades. They're looking great because price is down. Oh man, that's freaking sweet. If you can get, $1.10, close it down for 15 cents, 20 cents, take the profit. Yeah, if they're looking that good, I would close them. Like I will close them when I can close them. But if you can get them for, $1.10 out at 15 cents, that's a great trade. $1.20 out at 15, 20 cents, that's a great trade. Snapper says fill the Condor 595. Okay, good. I'm still pending at 6 right now. All right, let's try this again. I'm just going to keep trying to log into Tasty. So I've got my Thinkorswim web platform up with 2 trades pending. And then if I can log into Tasty, I just want to see what those other trades are showing. Even if they don't let me execute a new trade, I want to see what those broken wing butterflies from last week are paying, what the waterfall call condors are paying. Like we should be sitting some decent profits. VIX peaked around 19.2. It's reverting a little bit today. So, I mean, if the VIX is going to come down hard, then we are probably going to see the market gapping lower like it is and working its way back up. This is still not in a correction that I'm even remotely interested in. Like this is not a buy the dip. Okay. This is noise. I think the market still maybe leaves this gap right here. And maybe we come back down to the 50. Maybe we come back down to this previous all-time high. I would say the pressure is mounting, especially with the non-farm. If we have a weaker non-farm on Friday, it's just gonna feed into this fear that something's happening, the market's gonna roll over, blah blah blah, whatever. Maybe it does. But I think if you measure technicals like so, you got a rising wedge, okay, or a 3 drive pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This usually is an ABC correction. We break the low, we break this wedge, we take out this low, or we come back and find this area where the wedge started. So this is where I would say support. This is my big support window right here. If I'm looking to buy some dips, it's that support window. Okay. Rich, the trades are in Telegram for daily profit play. If you're a member to daily profit play alerts, that's where I posted the trades. Those are the same trades for last week too. All right, I still can't log into Tasty. This is so stupid, man. What I can do is I actually don't mind calling them to see where those broken wing butterflies are at. I could take those profits off right now if they're trading for like 10, 15 cents and see if they can execute those trades for me. Since today's somewhat difficult to place any new trades. But hey, I'd rather be, fumbling through this together so people aren't panicking. It's like, yeah, I mean, sometimes you get a weird connection with the broker. not exactly the right time to have an outage where it's like, hey, markets are, VIX is up to 18, 19. We've got like a 60, 70 point move in the day. We gapped open 1% lower. It's like probably not a good time to lose a broker connection. But anyway, just take it in stride. I did, yeah. So so Snapper got filled at 595. I mean, if you want to try the 590 or 595, that's why I put 590 credit or higher. So if you can get 595 or $6, mine's pending at 6 right now. Still hasn't filled. My bull put spread still hasn't filled. So I'm just going to hang out. The other side of this would be if I went up to maybe a bear call spread. Could I go up to like the gap? I mean, are we going to fill today's gap at 64.60? Maybe. What would that be? What would this move be if we filled the gap? 1.4. That's over the VIX. I mean, I feel like we could safely sell like a 64.60. Let me see what that looks like. So that is offering $1 at the money. I want to delete that trade. Let's go to the gap at 64.60. So if I do a 64.60, maybe a butterfly spread. Let's try this one. If I go buy the 60, sell the 65, and buy the 80. Okay. So this is a credit trade, a 1-2-1. There we go. So it's a credit trade. This is a gap fill. This is only offering 10 cents. This is a terrible trade right now. But if I could get like $1 out of this trade, that would be $1 credit at the gap fill with a $500 profit trap. My break even would be all the way up to like 64.71 minus the dollar limit. So that's looking for basically $100 credit on top of that profit trap. I'll set this one as well. Make sure none of these are overlapping. They're not. They're good. Okay. So I'm putting in a third trade. I'm just going to get some things surrounded. Tasty is just dead to me right now. Just going to continue to try to log in. I'll post this in Telegram, another pending order. Broken Wing. Call Fly, SPX, 9-2 expiration. So selling the body at 64.65. Yep, that's all correct. So that's 15 wide. All right, so I'm buying the 6460 call, selling 6465 call, buying 6480 call, dollar credit. Okay, so 3 working orders. Interactive Brokers also seems to have issues. Yep. So the Snapper, you got filled at 595 reverse iron condor. Who got filled? Bull put spread. I'm in. Like, who's your broker? I'm just curious. Like, who's filled right now, and what broker do you have? Got some construction runs. Give me a second. Okay, Thinkorswim. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I just haven't had a fill on Thinkorswim. Gotcha. Tasty's back up. All right, let's find out. Streamer loaded. Okay, I just got into Tasty. Let's see if I can execute a trade now. Well, more importantly too is I want to see, can I manage the positions that we're in? So we had broken wing butterflies last week, right? The one trade, so I closed out a couple of trades here. So we went out to like the second and had a bear call spread that should be in virtually full profit. So if you took that trade with me last week, SPX. So we did some broken wings. This one is September 8th. So group, that's a broken wing. So this trade was filled for $1.20. It's up $80. This trade was filled for $1.10. It's up $80. Probably not a bad one to be protecting. Now that's 6,500. I mean, we'd have to have a pretty big rally. 65 would be all the way back up to all-time highs and then some, which I'm not saying that we can't get there, but these are certainly looking a lot better just to take the profit. So if I want to take the profit here, it's $160. Certainly better than a stick in the eye. And we're not sitting on the trades all week with the potential drama of non-farm payroll on Friday. I wouldn't take less than 80 cents. So this is the $1.10, $1.20, which means this one should be closing for like a 20-cent debit or less. I'm going to put in a 20-cent debit to close it. They give me $90 on the trade. I'm going to put a 20-cent debit in there. Okay, this trade for $80 out of 120 means it's trading for a 40-cent debit. I'm going to do a 20-cent debit here as well. So I now everything's running. This makes me feel like I'm, kind of situated and everything's looking better. Let's go to Telegram. Okay, so trade management. The broken wing butterflies trades from last week. Call fly trades. Entry for $1.10, entry for $1.20. I'm setting a closing order at 20 cents debit for each one. If the broker fills, that will be 90 and $100 winners per contract. Okay. So I'm just going to set those in at 20-cent debits. Those are looking pretty good. Waterfall income. This one's now up 20%. And this one's now up 90%. So this one expires on the 19th. It's out a little bit longer. This one expires the 30th, out a little bit longer. This is up 90%. I'm going to take profit on this one here for waterfall. So if we're up 115, this should be like a 10-cent debit. Try to get this out for 10 cents. I'm going to let it sit at 10 cents. Try to take 90+% of that credit. So if you're my waterfall income, the September 19th trade, I'm trying to get out of this trade from $1.25 down to $1.15. I want to keep the $1.15. So we got to be pretty close. And maybe like today, tomorrow, just by time alone, this trade closes out. This goes out 17 more days, but the probability of coming all the way to 6,700 now is pretty slim. In fact, the debit side, I don't want to get too crazy. This one offers like $1,000 profit trap. Actually, you know what? It's tempting to take the profit, get the buying power back, but this one offers a $1,000 profit trap, and 6,700 on the option chain right now is we're trading at like a 3 delta. There's a 97% chance this trade just holds and becomes fully profitable. So part of me just thinks, let's let that thing expire for profit. All right. So on Thinkorswim, I don't have a single order filled yet. These are still working orders. The reverse iron condor, the broken wing butterfly, the reverse, I said that reverse iron condor, broken wing butterfly, and the bull put spread. None of those have filled. So I'm going to let those just hang out for the day. I'll keep this up. And now that Tasty is back up and running, I'll just continue with business as usual. Okay. So broken wing butterflies from last week in daily profit play alerts, $1.10, $1.20. I'm putting pending orders in at 20 cents to close them. That would be a 90-cent winner here out of the max 110. So we're going after a 20-cent debit here out of the 110, and then out of the 120, a 20-cent debit here. So if I win, that's $90 a contract. If I win, it's $100 a contract on those two trades. Okay. They expire Friday and Monday of next week. Right now, they're looking pretty good. But let's see if we just get them closed out with price just kind of hanging out, maybe forming some lower highs and lower lows. Okay. Trades for today. I'll get those similar orders put in. Let's look at the broken wing 6460. So if I put in a broken wing butterfly, call fly, 6460. So that was a trade that I put in. Try to get a dollar credit on this one. That's a broken wing for today. So that trade can hang out. That's the same order I put in Thinkorswim. And if I just did a bear call spread, if I, let's see here. Maybe I can sell the 60, go 10 wide in this one, see if this will get filled for maybe $1 at first. So sell a 64.65, buy a 64.75, go 10 wide, at least try to get $1 out of that trade. I'd like to get, $2 minimum. And then if I can scale into it again, I'll get another fill. I'm going to try to take this trade for $2. So, all right, I've got some working orders. Little summary on the day is this. Broken wing butterflies, we are managing. I know that it was pretty disrupted this morning by just not being able to log in your broker platform. That could be frustrating. So broken wing butterflies, hopefully have a couple of orders filling for profit. If you can get out of the trade with me, 20 cents or less, I haven't gotten out yet. I just have pending orders in. So that would be 90 cents of profit and $1 per a profit per contract. So those are good wins if we get them filled. Okay. So let's take care of those with pending orders to close. I still have 3 working orders. The broken wing butterfly, the reverse iron condor, and a bull put spread. None of them have been filled. Okay, on the reverse iron condor, let me check prices. I don't want to re-enter it because I think that this dead zone, look at this area. Just look at kind of the updated gamma levels. 6,400 and 6,325. Price could just stay here and just kind of hover around 6,400. If that's a sticky spot, I don't want my bear call spread or bull put spread to be inside of 6,400. So I want my dead zone to be like out here. Okay, because if we're going to stick somewhere, let's stick to 64. Let's try to fill this gap. Let's break and go lower to 63.25. Right. So if I'm going to have a dead zone, I'd say my dead zone is going to be between like 60 and 80. So let me see if I can restructure this trade. Let's go for today. So 60. So 63.60 and 80. That's a 20 wide dead zone, but we're no longer we're deep in the money on the bear call side, but we're, out of the money on the bull put side. So it's neither one is really giving me the credit that I want. So I think probably the smart thing is just cancel that reverse iron condor. I don't think we're going to get the fill that we want. And if we get the fill, it could be late enough in the day that I don't really want to flirt with it. So probably best to just cancel that one. So this is my cancel there. All right. And I'll make a note here. So update at 10:10 a.m. Canceling reverse iron condor. All right. If you didn't see that update, today's trades, canceling the reverse iron condor, keeping the broken wing butterfly call fly pending order, keeping the bull put spread, and also adding a 60 for 65. $64.65 call, $64.75 call, $2 credit, not filled. So I'm just going to put in a bear call spread and see if it gets filled. So right now, broken wing butterfly, bear call spread, cancel the reverse iron condor. That's it. Bill says I'm out the 2 butterflies for 95 per contract. Very good. So you got those are the trades we took last week, right, Bill? Yep. So if you got $1.10, $1.20, you're out for 95 bucks each. That's great. Very good. Yeah, I'm just gonna let those pend at 20 cents. Let those close out on their own. Okay. Sean, those trades are still open. I'm still in waterfall. So waterfall is up about 115. Look, you can close this one out for 10 cents. If you want to get out of the September night, we'll talk about it today in class at 12:30. Right now, it's up 92%. If you want to close it out, you're not going to hurt my feelings. The reason I'm not closing it out right now is because there is a $1,000 profit trap right there. If for some reason this market wants to go to all-time highs and exceed another, I mean, we had all-time highs at like 64 or 65 what? All-time highs at like 65.09. We'd have to go up 190 points above all-time highs. And I mean, again, great if it does. But 6,700, I think, is a tall stretch. I mean, this trade to potentially threaten us would have to do something out of the ordinary. We'd have to have like a 90. I mean, we'd have to have like a huge outlier move because right now there's only about a 3% chance of losing money on that trade. And with that potential $1,000 profit trap, I'm going to take my chance on that potential hedge too. So I'll take the 97% chance that I just get the full profit. And if we have a profit trap in there, it obviously is a nice bonus one. So I think I can hold out for another 17 days to try to 1, take in 125 bucks profit, and 2, offer maybe of the $1,000 max profit trap, maybe we can squeeze an extra 50 bucks out of it, maybe a couple $100 out of it. And then this one out to the end of the month. This one is this one probably needs to be closed first. This September 19th one is looking great. This one that's out to September 30th, it's a lower strike at 66.40. But I did pull in a lot more premium. So this one, if we get this one closing or offering, let's say, I don't know, $100 or better, it's probably smart to take this one just because this is only 140 points above the all-time highs. This one is 190 points above the all-time highs. So that's what I'm doing on waterfall. But both are showing profit, which is good. Okay. So yeah, we've got class at 12:30 for that. All right. So calm, cool, collected. We'll see if we get a couple of orders filled today. Either a broken wing butterfly bull put spread. I canceled the reverse iron condor. I want to see what gets filled. I'm not settling for bogus credits. I've got some pending orders that are looking great, some profits that are looking good. I'm just going to wait and let price close them out where I need to get them closed. So the trades we took last week in daily profit play, you're closing them out for, $85, $90 per contract, which is still acceptable. I'm going to try to just make it like $100 or $90 and just set the flat $20 debit. Okay. All right. That being said, schedule for this week. Let's go back to here. We'll do a little spot check on some other things. Today's classes and schedules. So we're going to do The daily profit plan, Tuesday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Monday, 12:30 p.m. will be a waterfall income. I'm sorry, it's Tuesday, obviously, because we had Labor Day. So Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. So this is a one-off for this week, but Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. will be a waterfall income class. Okay, Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. Make sure this is all Eastern time. That Broken Wing Butterfly closed out for 20 cents. So we'll probably have both those closing. Wednesday will be a double up one-day masterclass. And anything else for the week? Tuesday, Wednesday. So daily profit play every day. Tuesday at 12:30. Wednesday at, this actually needs to be 1:30, sorry. So Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. for double up. And then I will have my final hour, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, other YouTube session to close out the day. Yep. So I had one of the fly closed out at 20 cents. That's good. All right. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. So we have it for the week. I'm going to switch gears. If you'd like to join me for a couple of master classes, double up alerts masterclass this week. We did a one-day workshop last week on waterfall income. We're going to revisit that class again today at 12:30. Double ups, I had a 3-day workshop last week, or no, it would have been 2 weeks ago. So last week I did pinch point scanner. 2 weeks ago I did a 3-day workshop on double up. Really good, like 3-day workshop. I'm doing a 1-day follow-up on it this week. We'll do it Wednesday, and I'll talk more about double ups. So, if I have some big levels, it's just, it's a lot to juggle today when it comes to, okay, we gapped lower, we're logged out of our broker platform, we can't get in. We took literally 30 minutes to get into our broker platform. It's fine. It's like it wasn't a normal trading morning, but that's okay. I still got pending orders. I'm not forcing trades. I'm not freaking out. All in all, I'm closing out for some profit. So waterfall's looking good for some profit. The 2 trades we took last week and added those double up or daily profitability trades, looking good for profit. This one would have closed out for SPX 20 cents right here. That was the one that expires on Friday. So I've got this in the tracker. Go new tab. Okay, so trade number 1009 closed out for 20 cents debit. So that is 90 cents a contract. Risk would be the $1.10, so it'd be $8.90 risk. Not bad. And then still have the other one for $1.20 trying to close out for 20 cents. So trade number 1009 closed out for profit, and we're still waiting on trade 1010, 1010. A lot of trades in the service. Winners over 900 winners in the service, 90.6% winners. It's a pretty good track record, if you ask me. Just saying. All right, so we'll let those close. If I get a trade filtered, I'll add to the tracker. Waterfall, we'll talk about those in class at 12:30. Double up 1-day masterclass. I know I've got a lot of stuff going on, but you know what? It's a busy week, as it always is. So while we're at it, okay, if you want to join me for a workshop this week, this is a double ups 1-day workshop. Okay, this class is all about pretty big winners. Let me go to read off some of the numbers. So average